There you go. So y'all, oh my god, these are the best snacks. So damn good. The name is crazy, but so damn good. Alright, we are working on the business today. Working on the business today. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Man. Hell yeah, it's already up. Got to be, man. My wife don't play that. Best holiday. Y'all know my birthday's on Christmas, right? What y'all getting me for Christmas? That's the question. That's the real question. Because y'all don't be getting me nothing for Christmas. Let's play. Let me respond to all these questions. Were you able to get help? Are you using the barber form app? Just got. What's up, Ivan? What's going on? Just got out the shop. Is it just us or is it slow? Hey, happy birthday, man! It ain't slow over here, I don't think. We see guys hitting new PRs every week. It feels like. All right, let me see. Last night's Zoom meeting was fire. We got another one tonight in a few hours, so make sure you're locked in for that one. Open San Antonio is saying it's slow. Man, hell nah, it's busy. What's up, my guy? I'm really trying to get into barbering. Any tips? YouTube, man. Lots of YouTube. That's a quick question. I want to be B2B method, giving out cards, but since I'm cutting in my garage, what can I say when they ask me where I cut to sound more professional? Damn, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Just say your studio. Just say your studio. You didn't say your studio was in the salon lofts. You know what I mean? What advice would you give? Yep, you on it. I'll put on his shitty nice hat. Facts. No problem. Are you teaching any upcoming classes in in Atlanta. We don't have nothing coming up, right? Right, Dre? I thought we had something, but I don't know if that event got canceled. What direction would you point someone looking for some startup loan or funding money? It depends on your personal situation. If you have good personal credit, good financials, I'd start at your bank, whoever you bank with, whoever you already have relationships with. And then it also depends how much money you're trying to get. All right. Hey, the $50 credit, Dre, should be working, right? Still, the $50 credit. Hey, first time caller, first time caller. Bro, I cannot stop eating these, bro. These are like the best damn snacks. They're so good. Rice cake. They got peanut butter one, but these are the best ones right here. All right. Hey man, if you like them, I like them. But I'm a babyless guy. Been looking for a private investor. Absolutely. A private investor depends on the terms that you have is a partner for life. A bank, once you pay them off, they're gone. And then you can get money from them on the next deal. They're your partner temporarily. You do a good job with them, they'll give you even more money. But they don't want to be your partner long term. So long term, you win with a bank all day. It's gonna be a lot cheaper to get money from a bank than an investor. You know what I mean? That it? That ain't it. Where the hell is the link for this damn coupon code, Dre? I can't find it anywhere. Never mind, I got it. No. Lord, when did we stop doing that deal? Oh shit, it was like 2-3 weeks ago. What was the hardest thing when I was opening my first business? I would say leadership, mostly. Leadership's the hardest thing. And I'll shoot him a text. About to go to my old barber school, see what's up. A Chargers hat. The most important thing about that is impact is giving back is necessary, and not no, no, I ain't even gonna say that. It's just you can't do things by yourself, so you need to be able to lead a team. And there's so many personalities, and everybody has different ideas of what success looks like. And a lot of people miss the point of a lot of your vision and maybe not buy into it. There's a lot of people that were, you know, that were on my team 10 years ago that didn't see the vision. I just couldn't get the horse to drink the water. You know what I mean? And that happens to this day. And it just ain't for them. But then there's people that it's for, they just don't see it, right? Leadership is the best. Leadership and speaking. There's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. To me, that book is one of the most powerful skill sets that you could ever develop. Do I believe there's money in owning a barbershop? I just signed the lease for my 10th location, and I got an 11th one coming up. We're going to be opening minimum 5 shops a year forever. So, I wouldn't be doing that if I didn't think there was money in it. You feel me? That's awesome, man. Where in Georgia? All right. Yeah, definitely. I already have a client that's a lawyer. So how much taxes you pay in America? It depends, but I could say that self-employed people pay the most in taxes because they got to pay whatever federal taxes are, depending on what state they're in. They got to pay state taxes. They got to pay self-employment tax. So most barbers who are self-employed, the reason why they don't pay taxes is because they think that's the only way to save on taxes. And so most barbers are paying like 50% in taxes if they claim their money, not knowing there's ways around it. And even we lose pie accounting clients all the time because barbers they just don't understand it. They just don't understand why accounting is so important. Because with the right accounting firm, you can go from paying 50% of your income in taxes if you're trying to be bankable. This. I think this one of the saddest things is when I hear people not trying to be bankable. It's like, bro, you gave up. You're content with what you have. You're content with does your family, do the people who depend on you know that you're content? It's tough, man. Tough, tough, tough. All right, let's go into the community here. Let's see what the community talking about. What's he saying? I know most of the guys sharing. He's trying to share the templates. That's cool. Sharing templates. Use Canva to do so. Anyways, this looks great, man. Put a little GIF in there. What kind of GIF should we put? Looks great. Let's see what pops up. All right, cool. At least 4K. At least 4K a month, bro. Not a week. 4K a month. If you're making at least 4K a month, I recommend it. If you're living below your means, right? You got to be 4 to 5K minimum monthly and be living below your means. If you're spending everything you got, you're not going to be able to become an S Corp anyways because you spend all your money. You got to have a buffer to be able to put yourself on payroll. Can we start off with a DBA and OTB and switch to an S Corp LLC? Yeah, you can. Detail blends. You don't even need a DBA. You don't even need that. Bro, why is my software be acting so stupid sometimes? There you go. Got that Google ad running now, bro. We're going to see what it do. I think it's going to be way better response than the old one. There you go. Let's go. How about in Europe? Europe is even more expensive. Europe is way more expensive than Florida. You guys be giving your damn life to the government. And people say, oh, but they got health care. Man, they got the worst health care. No offense. Let you need some surgery or some shit. You're going to be waiting 6 months. Here, I could walk into a place, get surgery. I'm exaggerating. What's up? All right, let's see. Anything cool to watch on the tube? What's wrong with that video? I gotta try to fix it. Where is it? Where's the tracking sheet? Don't tell me I deleted it. Hey, chill out, Wally. Chill out. The barber pad? Oh, we've been doing that for a long time. That's a house where barbers from all over the country move in, and we give them an opportunity to live rent free while they're working at headlines on their journey to make 6 figures. It's a lot of fun. You want to watch that? I think they just dropped the intro video just now. Let me fix this real quick. There's a video that's tripping. Yeah, why is this acting up? Hungary. I want to go to Hungary or Croatia. Heard they're beautiful. Heard they're beautiful. Went to 2022. That's what's up, man. I'm glad to help. I don't know, but I bet you in person he would really love me. In person, he would really love me, that guy. That Google Ads video you did, yep, sir. Wow, that's really cool. Would it be like a show? Yeah, we're gonna do a show. It's gonna be a show, so there's gonna be episodes. I'll show it to you. For those of you guys watching, I'll show it to y'all. All right, let's fix this real quick. Should work. All those trolls, bro. Every troll, like this guy, the dude from there's pretty much everybody who openly talks shit about me in person, bro. They just it's a different world. It's a different world. Social media makes a lot of people comfortable. All right, let me reply. Oh, I gotta reply to him. All right. Today's AJ, so what was I looking? All right. All right, just trying to reply to everybody. Hey, first time caller, first time caller. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm gonna show y'all that video on official 245. This is the video right here, y'all. Oh wait.
My name is Mario.
Hey guys, I'm Trevor.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Let's go back.
Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Lex.
Hey everyone, my name is Mario.
Hey guys, I'm Trevor.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Jan, and we're here at the barber pad.
So how I got into barbering is very simple. I was trying to cut my own hair. I messed up. For some reason, I do like challenges. If I messed up, I wanted to get better every day. So I looked up on YouTube how to fade, how to taper. Guess who showed up? Chris Basio.
Being ambitious, hungry, one of the reasons was because of my mother. She's really my why. And I say that because as a young kid and growing up, she was there more than my father was. One of the strong characteristics that she portrayed onto me was her will to fight and just to keep on going in the rain, in the storm.
I didn't realize how big Basio, his team, 240 man, until I got here. No, I submitted application. I wasn't expecting anything, but I'm here now.
So I met my friend in the barber school. He introduced me to the mentorship, the six-figure mentorship, and that's how I got hired to work with the headlines barbershops.
I came here to level up and hit 6 figures. And I want you guys to follow my journey to make this dream a reality. Let's go. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Lex.
Hey everyone.
Lex is cool. All right, so those are 4 of the barbers that moved in from all over the country on their journey to 6 figures at Headlines. So young bulls, man, dropped everything. I believe Lex is from. We got Houston barbers, we got Cali barbers, we got Minnesota. Is it Minnesota? Yeah, Minnesota. From all over, y'all. So we'll keep expanding from there. You guys will be able to follow their journey. It's a lot of fun. So they're living in the barber pad, which is a house on the water, on a lake, pretty much, that they get to live in rent free until they get, on their. We try to make it 2 or 3 months until they get enough cash flow to be able to rent their own place. And some of them might room together and save some money. So. That's what's up. Logged into my appointment app and realized that I lost about 20 clients. What would you recommend to get myself back to where you were? Have you identified why'd you lose those clients? Do you know why they were lost? I probably want to start there and then, develop a solution for that and then start building again, Yeah, man. So whatever you were doing before, bro, it's time to just put in OT and do the same thing. How loud do I think the music in the shop should be? Conversation. As long as I can hear myself talking, you know. But I also think you gotta barbers gotta act like adults and read the room. You know what I mean? And adjust accordingly. Unfortunately, it's a lot harder for them than most, I guess. I don't know. Any more tutorials using the fading method you used on your last vid? I use it in a lot of my YouTube videos. It's not nothing new, and plus I'm trash now at cutting. So hey, shout out to Brooklyn in the house. Support referred me to an email. I haven't heard from them since, and switching my card. Yeah, check it again. Would you recommend the barber pad to a barber with a family? How would you? Nah, we had one guy who had 2 kids and one was kind of like a newborn. It's hard. People want to sacrifice for their family and stuff, but a move like that is really difficult long term. Like, unless your family's gonna move, you got to plan to move your family to Florida within the next few months or so. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody with a family. For sure. All right. Let's see what's on the tube, y'all. Anything worth watching? My kids got my timeline all messed up, or my homepage on Google all messed up. They be watching all these damn YouTubers, the phase rugs and all that shite. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look at this. This is crazy. Do y'all be watching this?
cash to companies during the pandemic, opportunists defrauded the government out of billions of dollars by lying about their needs. Now, a high-profile Phoenix business owner who once ran the state's largest special needs clinic is charged with COVID loan fraud, and she's facing the possibility of serious jail time.
12 News journalist Joe Dana finds that despite that, she remains a contractor for the Department of Education. Joe?
COVID loan fraud is not a victimless crime. Taxpayers remain on the hook for paying it back years into the future. 1,200,000, 150,000, and it goes on and on and on. A criminal indictment against the woman who once ran a special needs service empire in the Valley alleges she stole over $2.9 million through 9 companies she has in her name. Can you please ask her to contact us? We first revealed Bridget O'Brien's suspicious COVID loans in 2021. In a brazen move, the same month O'Brien began collecting COVID
Ooh,
bailout
look at that house.
She bought this nearly $2 million.
Look at that house. Man, they wildin'. Wildin'. What does this mean, Joe? Take the black pill. What's that mean?
Biltmore home. At the same time, she still owed therapists who did contract work for her.
People were not getting paid for months and months.
This indictment, the latest chapter in a truly bizarre journey for O'Brien since we began investigating her in 2018.
It's incredible in the negative way, the impact that she had.
At that time, we brought to light evidence of fraud and non-payment of social workers.
I want my money, that's it. I don't have any bad feelings toward her.
And the state cut off Medicaid payments to her company. Then in 2021, O'Brien was caught on surveillance camera stealing a dog in front of the owner's yard. She pleaded guilty to theft.
It's amazing to get Max back.
What the hell is wrong with this lady?
Accused O'Brien of lying about a cancer diagnosis to avoid her obligations.
Is there a reason why she hasn't been able to provide direct documentation of cancer treatment? Your facts are all wrong, Joe.
She had a legal heavyweight defending her in court. Her attorney, former Attorney General and current State Superintendent Tom Horn, a longtime acquaintance of O'Brien. Now, the indictment claims O'Brien used one of her companies, Kids A Therapy, to steal $340,000 in COVID funds. That company remains listed as an authorized tutor for the Arizona Department of Education, and that means it's eligible to receive even more COVID funds. Now, I've asked Superintendent Tom Horn, given O'Brien's history of alleged...
Is the program worth joining? Of course. Especially, yeah, hell yeah, if you're in barber school. You're going to be so ready, bro, by the time you get into
fraud, non-payment of contractors, dog napping, and now this 20-count criminal indictment, whether he thinks O'Brien should be removed
holding
as a
signs of
contractor for
scammers.
the Department of Ed. Horn tells me in a written statement, Miss O'Brien is entitled to her day in court. O'Brien is due back in court next month. She has pleaded not guilty.
An OC man is accused of taking millions of dollars from the government
Ooh,
and spending it
Lambo.
on exotic race cars. Investigators say he went to great lengths to cash in on the business program.
KCAL 9 Orange County reporter
They are
Stacey Butler
crazy.
with how they say he pulled off the scheme.
I ain't take no loan.
A Ferrari,
No
a
PPP
Bentley,
loan.
a Lamborghini, millions of dollars worth of sports cars purchased with your tax dollars, the feds say, by a scam artist who defrauded a pandemic relief fund.
Instead of using the money like a legitimate business to...
That's the crazy thing. If they would just use the money and invest it into their business for real, and then take the money that they're going to make from the money they invested and then go buy shit, they just go straight for the Lambo. What the heck? Why? Like, that's the other thing. Why is a Lambo that important to you that you would risk your freedom? Me and my brother were talking about that. My brother came down. Had a good time with him coming down, and we were just talking about family and stuff and the decisions they've made in the past, and we just don't understand it. We just don't get it. Man, it's tough. As a new barber with a lot of barbershops in the area, how do you promote? Don't worry about other barbershops in the area. They're not your competition. I would suggest, bro, join our free school, bro, and watch this video. So join our free school, 245 Barber School in school, and then go to mini course and watch this video. 200 new clients in 30 days. Watch that video, and that'll tell you exactly how you can build your clientele. So I'll put the Are you on YouTube? I don't know. No, you're not on YouTube. Let me put this in the IG chat. Or you can go to the link in my bio and join the free Tune 45 school. If you want to. Yeah, I put it in here too. There you go. Alrighty then. Let's go back to watching these crazy ass videos, man. They're crazy.
You know, help the business stay afloat. Instead, what's alleged is that he used the money for his own personal expenses, to take lavish vacations, and to purchase 3 luxury sports cars, a Bentley, a Ferrari, and a Lamborghini.
Investigators say last spring, 38-year-old Mustafa Kadiri applied for $5 million in PPP loans and got them. They say he used fake companies. He even had 4 business addresses in Newport Beach, websites online, and social media pages. But all of it, say investigators, were fake. Earlier this week, a federal grand jury indictment that was returned charges Kadiri with bank and wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering.
The number of businesses that closed over the last year plus, the number of people hurting out there, and you know that there are unscrupulous actors who take advantage of, you know, what's a government program supposed to help people.
The people who truly needed help are reacting. Melody Bridges has a dance studio in the San Fernando Valley. She got a loan and barely survived.
It angers us. We had to go through so much stress to get the PPP loan. Without it, we would have gone under. The government, I think, had to work so hard to try to help small business.
Yeah, but it depends how you give those cards and what's on those cards. I'd give them an offer. What's up, Gina? How are you? I made a lot of money selling broken Amazon Fire Sticks. No way. Did he get arrested? Look at this. Ooh, let's watch this, because you guys are guilty of this. Y'all are so guilty of this.
99% of people, because most people do the wrong stuff. And for me personally, I have a portfolio of companies at acquisition.com that does over $250 million per year. And I make these videos because I am really just shouting at my...
Hey, in 2 weeks, I'll be in California at one of his masterminds, y'all. We held the line.
Younger self of all the mistakes that I was making by working a lot on things that didn't move my business. The vast majority of growth isms, for the most part, are wrong, because if they were right, then people would do them and then grow. But most of growth is counterintuitive. So I want you to imagine your business as a tree, okay? So let's say you've got this tree and it's planted in the ground and you're like, where's the top of the tree? Don't worry, we'll get there. And the height of the tree over time, let's just imagine, is your revenue. Okay, so as the tree gets taller, your revenue goes up. Okay, now the problem is, let's say that you have these little offshoots, right? That's these little growth. Hey, these are B+ problems. Hey, we should add this thing to our email sequence. Hey, we should do this thing for our follow. What happens is the resources from the tree, from you, from the ground that are going into this thing are getting shot out to the side. And so you are growing. You feel like you're solving problems, but you're still here at the same revenues you were last year. But once you cut these things off, then all of the resources go right into the trunk and they just keep growing. And then your business continues to stay focused on the one thing that is going to move the tree up the most. So it's not about the amount of tasks that you finish, it's the amount of growth each task gets you. And this is why even biblically they talk about the...
Oh, now he going biblical. Let me send this to my team real quick, y'all. I gotta send this to my team. Let me send this to the team. Y'all. Send this to the team, y'all. All right, I just wanted to make sure I
The way
sent
to
that
keep
out.
a tree healthy is to prune it. And pruning literally means you're cutting things off. Commitment is the elimination of alternatives, which means commitment is literally the recipe for growth. Is that you focus all resources on the one growth path that you get the most for. Right now, you have a big list of things that you think you should do. And what often happens is that you will do number 5, number 3, maybe number 2, because those are the ones that you're like, oh, I can knock that out pretty quick. Oh, I can knock that out pretty quick. But what ends up happening is you get to the end of the day and you still have that number 1 thing that's sitting there on your list. And that number 1 thing you probably know is the most important thing, that if you only did that one thing, it would make the rest of the things on that list irrelevant by comparison. But what ends up happening is that we do the B+ problems all day because it makes us feel good because we know how to solve them. The A+ problem is usually one that's a little bit hairier. It has more variables, it's more complex. We have to get into systems, we have to do more analysis, and then we have to iterate to figure out how to solve it. And so because of that, we prefer the fast dopamine, or whatever you want to call it, of solving the quick problem rather than solving the most important problem. So fundamentally, most people want to do a good job. I have found this from the people who work at my companies, is that they want to do a good job. And so what they're afraid of is that if they have this problem that's underneath of their purview, that you are going to yell at them and say, oh my God, look at these fires, right? But the thing is that if you just say, dude, there's this massive fire right here that's burning and by far will burn everything to a crisp far more than these itty bitty fires will, that means that it's okay that these burn. And so when I do a prioritization meeting, especially if it's a big turnaround thing or we gotta turn the department around, something like that, like this is the most important thing in the business, I set the agenda up front and I say, hey, as of this point, nothing that has happened before today, anyone is accountable for. I will blame no one for anything. And so if I ask you in the future of this conversation, who made this or what made this happen, I am not asking to blame you. I'm asking so that I can understand the problem better so that we can solve it together. And by saying that's like, as of this moment, there's amnesia from the past. No one here will be responsible. And so by doing that, the pressure in the room, they're like, okay, we're all on the same team. And going forward, if you get, and like, I think you have to be specific with this. It's like, John, if you get complaints from CS about this stuff, your turnaround's being slow, that's okay. You can tell them, I said it's fine. Hey, Sarah, in legal, if you're having this issue and people are like, hey, we gotta get these contracts signed, tell them, I said it's fine. And remember, I pay everybody's paychecks. And so at the end of the day, I'm the one who's got to sign it, and I'm telling you it's okay. As hard as it is for you, because you guys all want to do a good job, to let these fires burn, we have to flex. We have to focus on this one. Otherwise, this one's going to burn us to a crisp. I was on a call with one of my portfolio teams, and it was a paid ads team, and they were having issues with pixel tracking. And this issue had been going on for 3 weeks, and it was because everyone was distracted, everyone was looking.
Pixel tracking. How many of you barbers have issues with pixel tracking? You don't even care about it.
Looking at all these different funnels and pages and follow-up sequences. And fundamentally, if the pixel is not bringing in the right traffic, none of the conversion rate optimization ever will matter ever again if the pixel gets worse and worse and worse because we're seasoning it with worse data. And if you're like, what the hell is Alex talking about it? Don't worry, it's just paid ad stuff. But fundamentally, if you're on a paid ads team and you know what I'm talking about, if that is wrong, nothing else matters. And so the difficulty, and this is what's tough, is that you have to look at all the other problems and be like, oh yeah, all this stuff sucks. We're gonna ignore that. Because if we don't fix this, none of that matters. And even as I was going up and pulling up some of the pages, I was like, God, this is ugly. And I told her, I was like, this is so ugly. We should fix this. But we're not going to today, because today we're going to fix this problem. We're going to fix the pixel. That's it. And once we fix the pixel in all of these 7 funnels, once it's fixed, then we can go on to the next thing. But the next thing, because if you reassess, you might find out that once you fix the pixel issue, some of your conversion rate issues might go away because maybe you're getting the right traffic in there, which is why you have to always reassess after doing the solution rather than trying to force feed. Like, I think these are the top 10. Would you put 8 above 7? Who cares? You're not even gonna work on it. You're just gonna work on the one and then get that done. And then you will see with this new reality and this new context, which of these now will move the needle the most. And so Frank Slootman, who is a 3-time IPO entrepreneur, talks about this in his management book, where he basically focuses every company on only one thing. And so he says some companies have 5 objectives, some companies have 3 objectives. His companies are only allowed to have 1. Because once you do that one thing, and this is something that I have found from my experience, is that let's say you had that list of 5 things to do. You have those 5, quote, priorities. If you do the one that matters the most, what you will often find is that number 2 through 5, sometimes 1 become irrelevant. Other times, something over here actually all of a sudden becomes the next most important thing, which means that if you had done number 3, number 5, number 2 on your list, and then done number 1, then you figuratively would have wasted all of the time doing 2, 3, and 5, because by the time you did number 1, it actually made those solutions irrelevant. Everything that I'm talking about right now is based on a concept that we call the theory of constraints, which is that you have one thing in your business that is limiting your growth. It is the constraint of your growth. And once you deconstrain the business will naturally grow until the next constraint. And so if this is valuable for you, you can always go to acquisition.com. And this is obviously only for businesses that are doing over $1 million a year. So acquisition.com, and see if you qualify for one of our workshops. Right now, the average workshop that attends does $3.5 million a year. So it's a decent sized room. 25% over 5 million, 50% over 1 million. And so it's for legit business owners. We talk about this type of stuff that really moves the needle for businesses in a big way. Fundamentally, the goal of strategy, which is the big fancy word that people use, is to prioritize limited resources against unlimited opportunities. There are unlimited things that you could do to grow your business. You could run TikTok ads, you could run LinkedIn ads, you could run LinkedIn outbound, you could optimize your site, you could improve your sales.
This is the stuff that people be saying to me like they know business. You know, like, yo, Chris, how come you don't do this? Yo, Chris, how come you don't do that? Yo, Chris, how come you haven't come out with a clipper yet? Yo, Chris, you're failing. They don't understand. You know, there's so much distraction. And you got to choose, you know, what's going to be what's the opportunity cost?
Conversions. There's a million things that you could do to grow your business, but there is one thing that can grow your business more than the others. And that one thing would pale or make everything else pale in comparison. And so when people are considered excellent strategists, translate that into they're excellent at prioritizing. But the real best strategists see all of the moves, and probably some moves you don't see, that maybe the number 1 thing on your list gets you a 2x, but there's another move that has a number 1 that's a 10x. And so fundamentally, you have to prioritize against all things you could do, known and unknown, and the people who move the fastest in terms of distance covered are the ones who get the most for every unit of effort, which is not about how fast they do things, but how much speed they cover with the things they choose to do. And so let me give you a different analogy that you can think of with. So a lot of people have a little wheel on their car and they're thinking, how do I make this thing spin faster, right? They've got this little wheel and they're like, I just got to go around and around and around and around, right? But what they don't think about is that you could have a wheel that's this big. And if you just do 1 revolution, you get more than this one does in 10. And so we want to just think, what is that one big wheel that if I just roll it once, it makes all of the wheel spins that I have on this tiny wheel irrelevant. So let's imagine you have your to-do.
You know, this is what I be trying to give people to envision. I'm always talking about building a bigger pie, and then everybody gets a big piece, and then everybody's piece gets bigger if we just focus on building a bigger pie. The problem is that not everybody's where you're at, so they don't see what we're working towards. And what ends up happening is a lot of people who you were thinking about should have a piece of the pie end up dropping off and honestly leaving their chair empty at the table, because they didn't have the vision to see how big the pie could get and what we were working on. We're still working on the dough, for example. People don't stick around to see the cheese melt, to put the toppings on, and have the biggest pie possible. People don't stick around long enough.
To-do list, right? You've got your 1, you've got your 2, you've got your 3. That's a 3. There you go. You got your 4, you got your 5.
You know, most people don't want to be there for cleaning the dishes, for prepping it, all that stuff, right? They just want to be there when it's a nice vibe and the dinner table's ready and it's just time to eat.
The thing is that most
Unfortunately.
of the times these are B and C level problems because you know how to solve them. Yay. But this one is the A plus problem that you have no idea how to solve. And so we spend all day, every day, just crossing these things off, and then we are happy at the end of the day. But then we're sad at the end of the month because we still haven't solved the one big problem. And so you have to be comfortable with the idea that you might not solve it for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. But if you do solve it on the 5th day, you get the A plus solution that gives you, it takes your wheel from a wheel that's this big to a wheel that's this big. And from that point going forward, when you're rolling, you're getting that much more for every revolution. And so I want to make this super tactical for you. Once you've identified what the priority is, what the one thing that matters most is, then typically humans, us and your team, will likely not want to do it. It's very much in our human nature to just continue to work less and less because it's easier. And so these are some tactics that I have done to pull the future forward. So number one, if you change the meetings from end of week to end of day or twice a day, you will communicate how much more important it is you to get those things done. So if you have a weekly cadence for something that is the priority for the business, then you should be meeting far more than once a week, probably more than once a day. Number two, once you've determined that that's a week, cadence for how much more important it is you to get those things done. So if you have a weekly cadence for something that is the priority for the business, then you should be meeting far more than once a week, probably more than once a day. Number two, once you've determined that that is the priority and you have a cadence and deadline associated with that because you're getting feedback loops that are installed much faster, then you want to eliminate everything that's not that. Now, they may sound obvious in retrospect, but it isn't in reality, especially if you have a team. And so the way that we eliminate is by saying everything that you are currently working on is not as important as this thing, which means you need to let some of these fires burn. Once you have set that deadline and you've eliminated everything else, then we've increased the frequency of communication. So obviously the meetings set little mini deadlines because you want to get things done by then. But in between, communication also needs to ramp up.
I feel like this is too high level, too executive-ish, and this ain't the right audience for that right now. What else they got? Why do you have him on here? All I keep hearing is this guy's a scammer. There's so many like fake gurus on here, bro. I don't know if he is, but some of the proof has been convincing. People call me scammer, but they don't never got no paperwork to prove it. You know. Know what I mean? Yeah, I think so. I think he hit on the key points for sure. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Trump has been going crazy. You see, I love the whole Doge initiative. The Doge department. Have y'all seen this? Let me see.
President-elect Donald Trump has continued to fill key positions in his second administration. So far, he's largely nominated those who were key allies during his presidential campaign.
It's the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space.
Elon Musk and
Elon
GOP
was
presidential
feeling it.
candidate Vivek Ramaswamy were
I like
announced
Vivek.
as leaders of a new Department of Government Efficiency. Let's go! But despite the name, it is not a government agency. Trump said in a statement that the pair will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful...
They got 2 billionaires leading the way. What's CBS saying?
President-elect Donald Trump's visit to the White House comes after a busy week naming his picks for key roles in his administration. Yesterday, Trump named billionaire Elon Musk and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek
Who's also a billionaire. Both of them are billionaires.
Ramaswamy to co-lead what the president-elect is calling the Department of Government Efficiency. Trump created the department to, quote, dismantle government.
I love this. I've been saying for the longest time, bro, taxes are necessary, but not the amount of taxes that we pay. And the way that they spend our tax dollars is incredibly horrible. A government efficiency department, I love it. How we haven't had that in the past? More Christmas stuff? What's up, guys? My family's home. And they're here ready to decorate the house.
Bureaucracy and slash excess waste. CBS News political reporter Libby Cathy joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Libby, thanks so much for being with us. We know that Elon Musk donated millions of dollars to Trump's campaign. Now he'll have a hand in Trump's administration. What does Elon Musk have to gain here? And it's a lot.
Yeah, good to be with you, Liz. Exactly. He has a lot to gain. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has been spending a lot of time with former President Donald Trump, now the president-elect, even joining him today in Washington for this historic meeting with Biden. Now, Musk isn't in the Oval Office, but it's significant that Trump had him travel with him on his plane, Trump Force One, Trump calls it, to Washington today after spending the larger part of the last week with Musk and Trump together at Mar-a-Lago as Trump makes these decisions. Now, you mentioned the Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE is that acronym, seemingly a troll of a meme of a dog winking that Musk posts frequently on Twitter,
Dogecoin.
X, the platform he bought.
Is Dogecoin up?
Having the ear of Trump and this.
Let's see what Dogecoin is at right now. Damn, it's up 92%. I should have bought Dogecoin. I should have bought it. Dang, that boy Dogecoin is going crazy.
This is important for him because Musk has several contracts with the government when it comes to Starlink, SpaceX, Tesla. He's got a lot of money, got a lot of business with the government, and Musk is a fan of deregulation. He does not want the government to be doing as much as they are currently. So that's Musk's part of his motivation, at least, and just general proximity to power. But Elon Musk having the ear of former president, now President-elect Trump this week, even joining him in Washington, and will be joining Vivek Ramaswamy to lead this department on government efficiency. And as we figure out in the coming weeks exactly what that department will be doing, Liz.
And Libby, there's another pick from Trump we want to ask you about. Trump named Fox News host and veteran Pete Hegseth as the next Secretary of Defense.
It's super fun to watch Trump
Bill
name
Ackman. If you guys don't know Bill Ackman, he's a billionaire investor. Let's see what he has to say.
these names to the cabinet, and I don't know about you, but I'm loving it. I think it's just so innovative to go completely Trumpian. Just keep people on their heels. Do not go with establishment types like he tried to do the first time. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with him going with Trump loyalists, but that term keeps getting bandied about as though it's a bad thing.
Actually, I think it's, I call it the dream team. I'm really super impressed. We have Elon Musk.
What? He's calling them the dream team. Bill Ackman has in the past, he's beefed with a lot of other investors and billionaires, and just because of the line of work he does. I like Bill Ackman. I think he's had some bad investments that has gotten him a lot of criticism. One of the big ones is he shorted what's that company? That's an MLM company. It's a health company. I forget what company it was. Babe, what's that protein health company? Herbalife. He shorted, and it backfired on him heavily.
We have a good friend of mine, Vivek Ramaswamy, who's incredibly talented. I love all these. I actually been super impressed with all the picks so far.
The New York Times, the Daily podcast today, and the New York Times itself is really wrestling with Elon's elevation to the right-hand man of the sitting president-elect. They don't seem happy. I feel like you should look at somebody like Elon who's willing to serve in any capacity for our government and just say thank you. But they are concerned. He's got 100 different lawsuits against him. How is he going to deal with those conflicts of interest? He's got all sorts of regulatory constrictions on him that are important to our safety. You know, how can he possibly be in this important role? What do you make of Elon being willing to serve as he is?
I think he's a great American. I think he's a great global citizen. You know, if you have to think of a guy who's made more consequential impact on society, on everything from the electric car to space to now neural.
Check it out, guys. We are opening, so it's official tissue. Hopefully Danny doesn't say anything he's not supposed to be saying. Yeah, so it's official. We're working on all these things for the new location we're opening. Lease is signed, turned in. The layout is approved. Architects working on the MEP drawings, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Possessions on Elijah's birthday, my son's birthday. It'll only be 8 chairs, but it's gonna be a fire location. So I think that build out will be about 3 months. Danny thinks 4 or 5, so we'll see.
Link, AI, he's I would say the most important figure of our time in the non-political sphere. And now,
can you imagine a billionaire calling you that, the most important figure of our time? Damn, Elon.
We have the benefit of,
and people hate him,
all of his talents, working alongside the president. I mean, it's an incredible home run.
It's true. Working alongside the president, bro. What? Come on.
I have not been this
I'm more excited about the team he's put together than anything. He's put together some of the best entrepreneurs that don't have any bias, that are not political. They just want this country to get better. Zach said they got you good too. Bro, I walked in there with the idea of buying 1 hat. And then they had some sale, and I ended up buying 4 hats.
Excited to be,
it got me.
An American, if you will, in a very long time. And so it's amazing.
Yeah, I feel the same. And so what they announced last night was that Elon and Vivek are going to work together on DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and start trying to find efficiencies in the biggest business of them all, the United States government, and figure out where we can tighten our belt and save some money. And yet, sort of the established Washington, D.C. class is very upset about this because it means jobs of federal bureaucrats, and that's what runs D.C. So what do you make of this idea of DOGE? Trump says in the announcement it's going to be completely outside government. These two will not be government employees.
Yeah, I think it's a home run. I've always thought of the United States as one of the greatest. My day job is to find these really great companies that have lost their way. And then what we try to do is bring in great new management and have them, fix the business. And that's basically what's happening here. And they're not going to have to look far. And everyone knows.
But they're doing it with our country. How dope is this?
The government.
I'm so excited for 2025 and the next 4 years, guys. Like, just super exciting, man.
Is the most ineffective bureaucracy in the world. Our governments generally, ours has not particularly impressed us as citizens, and now we have an opportunity not just to find cost savings, but actually to operate more effectively. The analogy that Musk makes is he says, think of the government, as just when you go get your license, updated, think about how inefficient that process is. Well, imagine the entire country being run that way. And I think that's the opportunity, and having sort of outsiders do this.
Nah.
Elon certainly has the playbook.
Impossible. If you're in the mentorship, guys, when you get to this part right here, I highly recommend watching this video. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you. Let's watch the video together. Let's watch the video together. Is it? It's this one. It's on taxes. All right, let's watch this. Taxes have been around in different ways, shapes, and forms since mankind existed, right? Before there was even money or dollars, they were trading, taking crops, taking food as a form of tax payments. You guys can go Google the history of taxes on your own time if you want to nerd out like that. But in 2024, a lot of people think that taxes still is what pays for our roads, our military, our schools. And there's probably some truth to it. But I want to show you guys this video that shares a different light. Another reason why taxes exist. Because if you don't know, you probably have heard during our recent elections, the government's always printing money. They use the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve buys U.S. Treasury bills. And the government pretty much in the United States can loan itself money to pretty much pay for all of these efforts, opportunities, credits, deductions, schools they're building, roads they're building, stimulus packages. And it's also helped America continue to be the super. This video.
That amounts. A government in this spending when countries like defense, they never have.
Tax dollars, right? Anyways, check out this video. Let me know what you think about it. I think it'll be a paradigm shift for you guys.
Your taxes pay for nothing. They never have, and they never will. You will have been told countless times that your taxes pay for all the things the government spends on, from defence, to roads, to hospitals, to education and so on. But any government that owns its own currency doesn't use tax money to pay for a thing, and that accounts for most of the national governments in the world today. Apologies to those with the euro and country.
Hold on, something wrong with this video. Let me fix this video real quick, because it's tripping. Why does this always happen? Hold on, y'all. I got y'all, I promise. Where the hell is it? All right, here we go. I'll bet y'all. Here we go.
You will have been told countless times that your taxes pay for all the things the government spends on, from defence, to roads, to hospitals, to education and so on. But any government that owns its own currency doesn't use tax money to pay for a thing. And that accounts for most of the national governments in the world today. Apologies to those with the euro and countries like Ecuador that use the US dollar, this part isn't for you. For the purpose of this video, we are talking about national governments with a sovereign currency. Government spending with an owned and controlled currency occurs not by taking money from taxes or other revenue, but by creating new money, which the government has the power to do in unlimited amounts. A government in this position spends by creating new money electronically. Someone at the central bank types new numbers onto a screen and new money is made. There's no need to take money from somewhere else if you can create it just like that. Nobody likes paying taxes, and we all expect to get something in return for paying them. So if the government doesn't spend your taxes, what are taxes for? In the first instance, taxes are what gives a currency its value. The coins, notes, and numbers on a screen don't have inherent value to them. So what gives them the value we all accept them as having every day? When a government introduces a new currency, there is no real reason for anybody to want it. Nobody will accept a currency as payment unless they are confident that other people they are going to buy from will want the currency too. To instill value, the government requires taxes to be paid in that currency. Then everybody who pays taxes needs some of that currency.
You guys get that? You guys get that? It helps with inflation. It helps give value because the dollar is not backed by anything. It's just paper. The only thing that gives the dollar or the currency any value is that people trust it. And the only way people trust it is if the government still wants it. And so if the government's telling you every year, you got to give us a certain amount of this currency, you're going to want to go get it. You have to. And so, of course, the dollar has value. But the government is constantly printing money. They're buying U.S. Treasury bills, bonds with it. And that's how they're funding everything. Taxes are designed to keep us wanting that currency and honestly keep us in control. Think about that. That's paradigm shift, right?
Man.
And so these are the things we teach in the mentorship because I'm trying to wake y'all up. I'm trying to most people don't see the opportunities in front of them because they don't know the rules to the game. They don't understand.
For it is created. The government can now spend the currency for the things it wants, because all the population wants some. This also highlights the fallacy of the idea that a government taxes you and then spends the money. No one can pay taxes in the currency if the government hasn't spent any of it yet, because no one will have any of that currency. Spending must come first and taxes second.
You see that? So they print money. The Fed buys U.S. Treasury bills with it. That gives the government money. The U.S. Treasury bonds is a loan to the government. So the government lets the Fed print money. They then loan it to the U.S. government. The government then has all kinds of programs, PPP loans, all kinds of programs, and they're pouring money, SBA loans. They're pouring money back into the economy. And the people, they spend it, and guess where it goes right back? From taxes, they collect their money, their payments, they make interest on it, it goes back to the government, and then they just keep printing money, and the cycle just continues.
Taxes also regulate the amount of money in the economy. When the government spends by creating money, the total amount of money in the system goes up and up by a considerable amount each year if you look at an average government budget. If there is a lot more money available, the supply is high, so the value of the currency falls, and you have inflation. Taxes are the government taking some of that money back out of the system. What the government actually does with your taxes is destroy them. The currency is deleted out of existence in order to maintain.
Listen to this. I've had students say, "Yo, I don't like online banks and stuff. I want to bring my money to a bank. I want physical. Bro, once your money's in the bank, it's gone. It is literally digital as soon as it gets to the bank. But are you guys catching this point? Check this point out. This is how they'll control inflation as well.
A lot more money available, the supply is high, so the value of the currency.
Detail blends. That's the point I'm making. We do have our own digital currency. The US dollar is a digital currency.
It falls, and you have inflation out each year if
So
you
listen.
look at an average government budget. If there is a lot more money available, the supply is high, so the value of the currency falls, and you have inflation. Taxes are the government taking some of that money back out of the system. What the government actually does with your taxes is destroy them. The currency is deleted out of existence in order to maintain a stable amount of money in the economy. As grim as the idea of the money you pay in taxes going up in smoke is, doing that prevents the money you still have from going down in value. So it's a win in the end. Taxes also prevent inflation in a more specific way, If the government decides to buy up all of an available resource, it can. It can create as much money as it chooses and can buy any amount of anything that is for sale in its own currency, be it steel, wheat, pencils, or even human labour. If the government wants to keep buying the resource beyond the amount that is in surplus, the private sector will begin to compete for the amount it wants by trying to outbid the government. Back and forth outbidding can cause the price to jump up, as the government has caused demand to significantly exceed supply. And if this happens across a wide range of resources, then we have inflation again. Taxes can reduce private businesses' ability to bid higher against the government and prevent the price from rising out of control. By controlling inflation, the value and stability of the money we all have is maintained. Finally, taxes are also used to influence behaviour. Making something more expensive makes it less likely for people to buy it. Tobacco is taxed for this reason, as is alcohol and a range of other.
Think about mortgages, buying a home. People are going crazy buying, so they raise interest rates and to lower consumer spending.
Things that the government doesn't want to ban, but wants to discourage. Taxes are vital to the health and stability of a national economy, but they play no direct role in funding government spending. That spending is all done by currency creation, as long as the government owns its currency. Whenever someone says that the federal government can't afford something, or that to fund some spending they'll have to raise taxes, or even just that your taxes are being wasted on something they don't like, they're trying to deceive you. The government doesn't need your money to spend it. They need to take it to give the rest of the money value. Trying to government spending,
run that back.
Spending is all done by currency creation, as long as the government owns its currency. Whenever someone says that the federal government can't afford something, or that to fund some spending they'll have to raise taxes, or even just that your taxes are being wasted on something they don't like, they're trying to deceive you. The government doesn't need your money to spend it. They need to take it to give the rest of the money value.
This is that whole idea. Anytime you hear a politician, tax the rich, so we can tax you guys, the poor, less. Complete bullshit. It's a complete lie. Now, why do I tell barbers they need to become bankable? Why? Okay? The reason why is for this purpose right here. I want to be the person. I want to be this. The person that the bank.
That currency. Spending must come first and taxes second.
I want to be the person right here that the bank goes to give all their money to then put it into the economy. I want to be that person. Most of you guys are not bankable, and you got to depend on people like this who can partner with the banks to build the businesses, to create the cash flows, to bring money to society and to the economy. Because you rather try to hide money and not pay taxes, realizing what you're doing is becoming a slave to money. You're literally becoming a slave to something that's worthless because you don't know the game. These people understand money is literally just a tool. It's got no value besides what the government wants you to do with it. And so how do you know what to do with it? Number one, you got to be bankable. So you got to understand what that means to be eligible to be bankable. Number two, you got to understand what the tax laws are and what the government wants you spending the money on. Then you can be the person that the banks who are using the government's printing, right, decides to give that money to then pour it into society and the economy. This is the person I want to be. But most of you guys are so worried about paying no taxes and save money that's worthless. It's hilarious. And it goes over so many people's heads. And this is kind of half the battle, is changing people's minds, because we're almost brainwashed our entire lives to believe in a system that's not real, that doesn't exist. But we think it does. There's a reason why it's not in our education system. All right. So if that's something that you guys want to watch, it's lesson 1 in the personal finance blueprint. So if you go into the classroom, and that's nothing, right? This is step 6. Do not skip to this step. But I want you guys to value each of these steps leading up to step 6, because I'm preparing you guys to really build wealth. Okay? And so how can you fix that problem? Join the mentorship, go through the program, because I'm going to teach you guys personal finance, but I'm also going to teach you business finance and business funding. And then you'll be able to create as much money as you want to from the banks to then create wealth through barbershop, wealth through stocks, real estate wealth, product and brand wealth. You'll be the person that's in front of the bank, that the bank's like, here, take $5 million. This is how money is created. It's not created by taking from this guy and giving it to another, right? And that's what politicians want you to believe, that if this man's rich, this man has $1 billion, that's $1 billion that could have been distributed to the rest of the world. That's not how it works. Okay? And so if you just follow the blueprint, I'm literally teaching you guys how to do this, because first you have to build your skill sets. Your biggest asset right now is I could give you $500,000 right now. You won't know what to do with it to turn it into $1 million, right? So your biggest asset is becoming a better leader, is becoming a better business person, a better salesman, someone with work ethic, understanding how to build a good business, how to market your business, how to advertise your business. Once you can do that, doing it behind the chair is the same thing as doing it for a barbershop, the same thing as doing it for an accounting firm, for a trucking company, for a product line, for real estate. It's the same thing. But we're building these skill sets here, and then we're making sure that you can manage your personal finances. And then once you can manage your personal finances, you can manage your business finances. And once you can manage your business finances, the banks are going to love you, and they're going to give you business funding. And then once you can get business funding, we can start really building wealth. See, 6 figures is just the start. It's literally just the standard. It's the foundation, because business funding doesn't happen unless you're in 6 figures. I can tell you, you can go to any bank and look at what the criteria is for business funding, and you'll see most of it is you got to be making $100K a year minimum. Okay, then we can go into the fork. Besides having all the cash that we're going to get from these skill sets, right? Like Jordan's 3 years in, he's made $500,000. He's got cash, but he also wants to nurture these relationships with these banks, because the goal isn't, a few little things here and there. Jordan's setting himself up to be the man to these banks, and setting himself up like that video is. Okay. Hopefully that's making a little sense to you guys. I don't know though, because sometimes people people will join Pi Accounting, hear all this stuff, and still be hiding money under the mattress and stuff. And our accountants are like, what is wrong with these barbers? That was a fun video to watch. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off of this thing, spend some time with my family. If you're not in the mentorship and you want to grow, you want 2025 to be your best year ever, join the mentorship. You can cancel anytime. There's no commitment, but I bet you'll get an ROI. I bet you'll see the value, all that good stuff, man. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Oh, tomorrow morning, I will be live. We'll be doing Q&A in the morning. And then tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have a call, Google My Business, making it the bomb, making it amazing. That's tonight's call. And then tomorrow morning, we have another.